Hello lovelies, if you're just coming across this channel for the first time, you're welcome. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. You're a returning subscriber. Thank you so much for always subscribing. I love you guys. So today we'll be drafting this beautiful gown you saw. So I'm showing you how I fold my fabric on the paper. You just fold it like a triangle shape. You can see how I did it. That's how you're going to fold it. So let's start. So this is it. So I'm going to start with my measurements. So I'm trying to get my shoulder. So I'm going to take a straight measurement, at least to get like 10 to 11 inches, so I can impute my shoulder and my armhole measurement. So I got 11. I'm going to mark from the tip of the fabric down to get a straight line. That I mark 12 inches. So I'm going to go to the other side and also mark 12 inches. So I got 11 inch there. I'm going to mark a straight line across it. So that is where my measurement is going to start from. So I'll start by imputing my shoulder measurement, which is 9 inches. And my neck width, which is 3 inch. I'm cutting the back first before the front. So I'm going down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'm going to connect it to the neck width. This can be very, very trickish. So I'm going down by 1 inch for my neck depth. Then I'll connect it to the neck width. It's a curve rule. So now I'm going to take my armhole measurement from that 1 inch shoulder slope. I'm going to take my armhole. My armhole measurement is 9. I need this to be very straight. I made a mistake, so I had to redraw it back. Don't need it to be slanty because you need it to be straight. So now I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole line, which is 4.5. I'll mark it. Then I'll take my bust measurement, which is 11. And I'll add 2 inch allowance. Then I'll connect it from the midpoint down to the armhole measurement, to the bust measurement, sorry. So now I'll start by taking my measurement. I'm starting from the upper part of the fabric down to my full measurement. I got 42. The upper part of the fabric is 32, so I deducted the 10 inches I mark at the upper side, which I used for my upper measurement, my shoulder, so it gave me 42. So I'm going to mark 42 round. I'm marking it from the upper part so that I can get an accurate measurement, and that cover the down part. You know, we took out 10 inches from the upper part before we started imputing our shoulder measurements. So you add the 10 inches to any of your measurements. If your upper part is 25 plus that 10, it will give you 35. So it's 35 you're going to measure from the upper part down, so that when you cut the shoulder side, you still get your measurement. But don't forget to add your ½ inch joining allowance at the shoulder part and at the down part. So this is the curve I got after my measurement. Then I'll connect from the armhole straight. You can see how I'm marking it. I'm following the shape of how I fold the fabric. So you connect it down to your bust measurement. I cut it out. So this is it after cutting it. That's my armhole. This is the curve at the down part. If you open it, it's a full flay. So I'm going to use this to cut the front part. Fold the fabric just the way I folded the back part. I placed the back on it and I trace out the shape. But for the front, I'm going to go down by 1 inch. Making it 2 inch. I'll cut it out. I also mark down 4 inches because I want it to have an opening at the midpoint. Then I'll cut it straight to the 4 inch. And at the armhole, I'm going to get the midpoint, which is 4.5. Then I'll go in by ½ inch. This is the front part, so I'll go in by ½ inch. Then I'll connect it to the shoulder and cut out. Sorry for blocking you guys with my big head. I've cut it out. And this is the front part. As you can see, that is the opening at the midpoint. I'm going to do the same to the back. You can see the flay, it's a full flay. So now I'm going to cut the second layer. I'm using organza. So I'll just fold it into 2, place the upper part on it, then I'll trace it. I'll mark from the end part of the upper part down. I want it to be 12 inches. That's the 11, ½ inches for sewing at the upper part and ½ inches for sewing at the lower part. So I'm marking 12 inches from the down part of the upper body. As you can see, 12 inches round. So I'm following the curve. So to get your proper measurement on how to cut this, if your full measurement is 55, like mine is 55, the upper part is 32. I used 12 for this, then the down part I'm going to use 14. Both the folding allowance and the joining allowance, everything. So you just calculate it. Calculate how you want yours to be. If you want the organza to be longer than the lower part, good. But this is how I want mine. You can see how I cut it out after cutting the down. Just trace the up body and cut. So now I'm notching the midpoint. Please don't forget to indicate. I didn't indicate the joining, the upper parts to the down parts. So this is the 3rd layer. So I place the organza on the fabric. So now I'm going to take the last measurement, which is 14. Both my joining allowance and my folding allowance at the down. I'm going to use bias to fold the down part. So just the way we did with the organza and the upper body, we'll just trace it, follow it, mark your 14 and connect so that you can get that shape. So you cut out after getting the shape. Then I'll trace the upper part on the fabric, and I'll also cut that out. The way you cut the front, that's the same way you cut the back too. So I'm done with cutting the bodice. Now I'm cutting the sleeve. I'm going down by 4 inches. So I'll connect it on a straight line. I'll connect on a straight line. So I'll get the midpoint of that straight line, which is 4. Then I'll go up by 1/2 inch and I'll connect to the upper part. I'll cut out. So now I'm going to get my measurements at the down part. We're going to cut the sleeve just the way we cut the body. So I'm using 5.5 at the lower part, then I'll connect it to the upper part and cut out. So now we're going to cut our organza. That's the second layer. Just the way we did with the upper body, we had the first layer, the second layer, which is organza, then the third layer again, which is the fabric. So we are doing the same thing. Now I'm taking the measurement of the upper part of the sleeve, so I will know the measurement to take for the organza. Now I'm taking 6 inches, half inch for joining at the upper part and the down part. Cut out. Now I folded it into 4. That's for the front, for one side of the sleeve and the other side of the sleeve. So I'm cutting it out now to separate it. So I'm done separating the both. So I'm cutting the down part now. This is the upper part, and the mid part, this is the down part. I also fold it into 4 for the 2 sleeve. So I'm going to take my measurement down 4 inch. I only needed 3 inch, but I marked 4 inch for folding allowance, 1/2 inch, and joining allowance, which is 1/2 inch too. So I'm going to connect and cut out. So this is it. This is the full sleeve. So I'm going to cut a facing for the back piece of the upper body and the front piece. So I'll place a fabric, fold it, and place the back piece on it. Then trace out the shape and cut. You can see how I'm cutting it. Just trace out the neck and the shoulder. I'm going to lift the fabric up and just curve it the way I want it. You can make yours wider than mine. I'll do the same to the front. So this is it. I'm done cutting the facing. So after giving it a nice press, so I'm going to place the facing on it. I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew the neck and the opening at the middle with 1/2 inch. I'll do the same thing to the back. I'll turn it and give it a nice press. Then at the down part, I'm going to sew in my organza right side facing the right side with 1/2 inch. Then I'll place the third layer on the organza too, right side facing right side, and I'll sew in by 1/2 inch. Then I'll bring it back for us to see. So this is my sleeve. Just the way I did with the upper body, I'm going to do the same to the sleeve. I'll join the organza, right side facing right side, 1/2 inch. Then the third layer, right side facing right side on the organza too, with 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to take my measurement and close it, fold the down with my 1/2 inch hemming allowance. Then I'll bring it for us to see. So this is the upper body after sewing the neck and the opening at the midpoint. I turned it and give it a nice breast. I used my hemming gun to gum the facing. So this is the lower part. I joined the organza. I sew in the organza to the upper part, then the down part to the organza with half inch. I did the same thing to the back bodice. I told you I was going to open the back neckline, which I did. I made a button loop there, so I'm going to insert button at the neck part. So this is the lower part of my back upper body, the organza and the fabric, and this is my sleeve. So now I'm going to take my body measurements. I'll fold it just the way we folded it when cutting it, the triangular shape. Then I'll take my body measurements, my bust measurement, then I'll just mark it straight because it's a flay gown. I'll just mark it straight. I'll join my front shoulder to my back shoulder. That's my front body shoulder to my back shoulder with half an inch. I'll take my body measurement and sew. Insert my sleeve and hem it down. Then I'll bring it back for us to see. I've fixed the hand and I've also shaped the side of the dress, and I also hemmed it down using a bias. After sewing, I went ahead to weave the edges. So this is the end result of the gown. It's looking very beautiful. If you watch this video up to this point, I'm so grateful. Please don't forget to subscribe, support your girl, like, share, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I post a new video. I love you guys so much. Thank you for my returning subscribers. Thank you for always watching my video. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.